Good Saturday morning, everyone. Today on Perspectives, how do you improve the educational performance of Alabama's school-aged children? Well, many educators believe that it has a lot to do with how and when they start. Recent brain research indicating now that birth to age 3 are the most important years in a child's development. So some experts say that you must give preschool children a variety of learning experiences to help them grow intellectually, socially, and emotionally. Their research says that if you nurture young children and give them the opportunity to thrive in a safe, stable, nurturing space, they will be able to find their path to success in school, in work, and in life. Early Head Start and Head Start has a strong and solid foundation of excellence and a proven track record in serving children. Their programs promote school readiness by enhancing the social and cognitive development of children from birth to age 5. They say it's an ideal laboratory for effective child development as well as comprehensive learning. Head Start is transformative and a leader in early childhood development and education. Their mission to inspire and support children who they believe, regardless of their circumstances at birth, have the ability to succeed. Well, this morning on Perspectives, our guest, Jaquela Humbert. She is the Family Engagement Coordinator of Mobile Community Action's Head Start Early Head Start programs. Well, after a quick break this morning, we'll talk with our guests about the difference that Head Start and Early Head Start programs are making in the educational success of children in Mobile as well as the state of Alabama. And of course, the important role that community-based partners play in that action. Perspectives continues in just a moment. Thanks for joining us this morning. Our very special guest, Ms. Humbert from Mobile Community Action Head Start and Early Head Start. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
For those who may not be familiar, although Head Start has been around for quite a while and doing a great job for years, tell our viewers exactly what is the Head Start program.
Head Start has been around, especially since its inception in this area, over 50 years. And we are a comprehensive school readiness program that we are awarded a grant by the federal government through the Office of Head Start. And we provide comprehensive services to low-income families for the most part. We service children with disabilities, and we work with families to improve with their children, as well as with the families, their Head Start, so that they can get that Head Start into a proper education.
And when you talk about 50 years, a lot of success stories over the years and the changing of the fortunes of a lot of children, because sometimes, tell us how some of the children still come to this day where they have not been exposed to some of the basic things that some of us take for granted, right, as it relates to early education and preparing them for school.
Right. There are some families that have not had the opportunity because most of the time, a lot of the times it's presented, I guess, in a child care aspect where you know, they have to pay for those services. But with Head Start, it is a no-cost program for all of the families that we serve. So those children and families who participate in our program don't have to provide anything. We provide everything for them, from breakfast, lunch, snack every day, all their school materials, anything that they do as far as field trips in-house and things like that. Everything we provide for those families, so that those families can and those children can get the Head Start that they need as far as education is concerned.
Don't you also provide some types of health care services also?
We also, as part of our comprehensive, that's why we mean comprehensive, we provide health services, nutrition services, mental health services, our social services for the family. Of course, we serve, like I said, children with disabilities. So those families who have children who may if they're sitting at home until school starts and they're having issues maybe with speech or developmental, things like that, we assist those families in making sure that they're screened, properly. We work with the local LEAs or the education systems in the area to make sure that they're screened and get the services that they need to kind of try and correct those issues before they actually start kindergarten and start school.
And today it's very important for kids to be at a certain level when they go to kindergarten. I don't think it was like that when you and I went. But
like we had a school readiness meeting not too long ago and had one of the local kindergarten teachers come in and share with us, before when we were growing up, it was just, okay, you come to kindergarten and that's where you learn your ABCs
right there, right?
And that's where you learn. But no, now they're expecting children to know, at least the alphabet of their name at least, and at least to know in beginning stages of trying to read and know all of their colors and know all of that stuff already. And we help them with that, but we help them, again, the social emotional part of it. That's a very big issue with Head Start and with our children now, because like you said, it not only helps them now, but as they grow and we give them the base for that social emotional growth and how they can, self-regulate, how they can manage their emotions and feelings, and as they grow older, they can build on that. And, you have a lot of things going on with the news with teenagers and violence and, things like that. And we believe that if we get them early at the age that we have them now and can start them on that base level and learning how to control emotions, learning how to, self-regulate, then we won't have as many of those issues.
How important is that socialization skill? Because some come where they may be the only child and they don't know what sharing and how to play, I guess.
Right, and that's what the social part of it is. Some of them are at home, even if they're not the only child. It's still learning how to relate with other adults, how to relate with other children outside of the children who may be even in your home, how those relationships form and how each one is different. And so children have to, acclimate, to those things, be taught and, how to, have those positive relationships is what we call it, positive relationships that we encourage with not only the child with another child, but like I said, the child with that adult teacher and other adults that are, in their area, they're going to relate to each other differently. So we try to, teach that and help them, regulate how those relationships go.
Something that some people may take for granted that it has happened in their home. They may not even think about what they are doing and how they do it, but if the family structure is in a certain position where things have been made available, people have exposure, they know how to do certain things, and of course access to information is another factor. But you are having to start some cases right at the beginning of things that they should have learned before they get there, if they come at 3, or I guess it's fortunate if you get some at 6 months that you can get them from the early stages.
And see, that's what our early Head Start, there are a lot of different early Head Start programs in the area, but we offer an early Head Start program that starts at age 6 weeks old.
6 weeks,
so even so even in that infant and toddler classroom, 6 weeks, all the way up to our early Head Start goes up to 3 years old. We are working with those children, like you said, learning how to share, learning how to, express themselves as they learn how to talk, and things like that. So our children are constantly learning. There's a curriculum for them at every stage. Social emotional curriculum, our education curriculum, all of those things are there for them and put into place at every stage of, from 6 weeks all the way up to 3, and then with Head Start 3 and beyond, where they're able to learn.
So as we talked about being a laboratory, you are indeed a laboratory. Tell us how you got started in it, because a lot of people, and including yourself, started at different positions, but then became a part of the management staff and that's an asset for you all, isn't it?
I think so. I think that having people to come through the ranks and knowing the program and knowing what it did for them. I myself, even though I'm not originally from Alabama, but my daughter went to Head Start in Ohio.
Okay.
So
You were familiar.
I was familiar with it, but when I came here and became employed, I started as a family advocate, but we have some staff who have been with the program for years and started as parents in this program, and they've worked their way up because we pride ourselves, Head Start as a whole, on working with parents so that they can have gainful employment, as well. And when we're able to move a parent from, just being a parent, and they're able to work their way, through the program, through various different positions, and become, employed with the program, they see all the aspects of and how important every aspect of the program is.
And that's another part of the working with the whole family, not just the child, but
Right.
Head Start is providing some important benefits to the entire family.
Exactly. Not only, again, through, job development, but also, resources. There are a lot of parents that, would do better and succeed if they knew what was there. And sometimes they could live in the community their whole life, but just are not aware of all the resources that are offered in that community. And so that's part of what we do as well, is connect them to those resources so that their family can, begin to thrive or, do better than what it's currently doing.
Because there are a lot of things available that some people just don't have access to the information.
Right.
And it really doesn't make a difference where you live. Sometimes you just don't know.
Right.
So it's important that they get that exposure. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk more about the benefits as well as an upcoming program that will be available for them tomorrow to take advantage of on Saturday, to take advantage of getting involved in community and the Head Start and early Head Start programs through MCA. Our very special guest once again, Ms. Humbert. We'll be back with more perspectives in just a moment. Welcome back. We're talking about McMill Community Action Head Start and early Head Start this morning. Our very special guest, Ms. Humbert, and we were talking about some of the different programs that Head Start offers. In the initial part of the program this morning, we talked about the importance that the research is showing to get started early, because it really, the learning process, they say, is incredible, that first 3 years of a child's life. So with the early Head Start program, you're getting them at 6 weeks. So
6 weeks.
I guess give us an idea of that curriculum that the research has shown for you all that you're using to be able to maneuver and provide what that child needs.
So we use several different curriculum. Our curriculum that we use for both programs tries to work with the child, and it's like learning through play. So we have in every one of our classrooms, they're kind of set up the same way, where the curriculum takes them through a science center, through a reading lab, through a household, center, through they have manipulatives and things like that they work with for, to build their strength for hands and in the use of their hands and things like that. And each one of our children, they have individualized lesson plans, so that way the teacher can work with each child on their own, level. They do group work, but they also focus on what that individual child needs, and they take assessments, and they do all types of, different things in the program to make sure that we're trying to meet each child where they need to be met, to make sure that they're getting what they need, particularly in the program.
Well, that's awesome, that individual aspect where you can.
And this is the age, that age is, like the research says, is where they're soaking up all of that information. Research does show that, by the time, they're age 3, to 5, or, whatever, that most of their activity as far as learning and taking in, a lot of things is already set. And so everything that they learn afterwards is just being built upon that.
Oh, based on those skills that you've helped
the
develop.
skills that they've developed for that cognitive learning and things like that. So this age range is where all of that, knowledge and soaking in of all of that information takes place.
I tell you, you think about the going on 60 years now of seeing the development of the kids and then the success of the kids. Can you share about any success stories that you've seen personally that?
Yeah, we've seen, it's amazing. Parents always want to come back and they're so proud, of their children. I know as far as working as a family advocate and even now as a family engagement coordinator, when we see our children or our parents, in the, in the community, or they come back and share with us, oh, my child has, been on the honor roll ever since. And, I can see the difference between my child that went to Head Start and a child that didn't go to Head Start. On even, teachers, some teachers, in the community may feel the same way. They love to come back and share how, their child is on the honor roll, their child is doing, all of these great things, and they do accredit. There are a lot of Head Start babies, out there that are no longer babies. We've had staff who've had their children come through and they're presidents of universities, and they've come back, to our conferences to speak to parents and things like that. They're doctors or they're lawyers, and they're sharing their success stories, and they were products, of Head Start, of the Head Start program, even from this area. So though we have a lot of success stories even out there in our community now, where parents, when you say, hey, I work for Head Start, oh, they say, oh, my child went to Head Start, and or I went to Head Start, and things like that. So we have a lot of success stories out there.
And it really blesses a parent's heart when their kids are getting something that they didn't have the opportunity to receive themselves, or they see even, and I've seen your Head Start centers, and you all have all the state-of-the-art, the newest stuff to work with the kids, and like you were saying, the interactive things that the kids can take advantage of today that we didn't have back, in the day, even no matter how much income you may have had. So a lot of great things. When you look at the aspect of getting into the program, how simple is it to get into the program? It's
real simple to get into the program, and we have several avenues now. Technology, again, has afforded us where we can, and of course, having to go through COVID, we had to switch to having a way for parents to be able to still apply and still have their children participate. So through our website, we now have an online application that they can do. We have a PDF that they can print off if they prefer to do that, and then still the old-fashioned way, they can come, to the center to pick up an application. But the process is very simple. Parents provide their child's birth certificate. We do, because we are required to work with low-income families, we're provided with a guideline, the poverty guideline from the government that we use to just to say where the families are on that guideline and what we can accept. But we encourage all families to apply, even if they're over income, because there's a percentage that we can accept of over income families. And again, especially if they have children with disabilities, because we want to make sure that those children don't get left out and get, fall in the cracks as well. So those are the three different ways: through online, either completing it online or printing it from online, or always you can go into any one of our centers to pick up an application.
Can we talk about the cost?
The cost, there is no cost. Okay, let me say that, of course. It's a no-cost program to all of our families, even if they come in under the fact that they're over income. No one in our program pays fees or costs for anything. Everything, is provided, again, under our nutrition services. Breakfast, lunch, and snack is provided every single day, so they don't have to pay for that. Under our educational service, parents want to know, well, what do I need to, bring in pencils or paper? Or no, none of that. Everything is provided through the program, so the parents don't have to worry about anything except getting their child to school and making sure that they're helping us, because our motto is that the parent is their child's first teacher, and we always recognize that. So it's a partnership really between us and that parent and that family to make sure that that child and that family gets a head start.
And how many centers do you have in Mobile County?
In Mobile County, we have 12 centers, and then we have one center in McIntosh in Washington County. So we service those two counties. So we have a total of 13 sites that we currently operate.
And spread out throughout the area, so there's a close one to you. Now, Saturday you're having a big program that's a fun event, but at the same time it's a outreach program to welcome other parents who may have interest.
Exactly. On this coming Saturday, May 20th, from 10 to 2, High Point Baptist Church has partnered with us, and they're letting us use their campus to host a community family fun day. May is Community Action Month, and so we wanted to recognize all of those, like we were talking about, service providers and things like that that are in our community that parents and families may not know about. So in order to recognize Community Action Month and the importance of how the community and services and everything coming together is, we want to be able to provide the knowledge of those providers. So at that event, you'll have several vendors of services that are throughout the community. I think we have well over 60 vendors that are coming. We have WGOK will be on the premises for us, and also I'm not sure if most people know about he's an early childhood education performer. Sean Brown will be with us performing and doing some different things. So we have a lot of different things going on, and parents and families can come out. They can bring a lawn chair and stay, or they can just walk through and enjoy. You know, there's vendors, like I said, food, fun, games.
To get to know Head Start.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we thank you so much for being here and sharing that information today, and of course I hope that more parents take advantage of this and families, because it's a program that works, proven track record.
Yes, sir.
And it's definitely a great Head Start. Jaquella Humbert, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
All right, and thank you for being a part. Here's the information. For more information about Mobile Community Action, there's the address there, as well as a phone number to call, Ms. Humbert's email as well, if you have any questions about getting your child involved in Head Start. And remember, you can also find all the episodes of Perspectives at fox10tv.com and the Fox 10 app, or on YouPage. I'm Eric Reynolds. You have a great week ahead. We'll see you next week.